Hello, this is Jo. Today I'm doing a reading for this beginning part of Sagittarius season. And today I've used the Tarot of the Divine by Yoshi Yoshitani. And the card that I pulled is the Eight of Wands. This is, I think, the third eight I've had since I started making these videos. We've had the Strength card, which is the eighth card in Tarot, and we've had the Eight of Swords before. This is another eight. And eight is a number of transformation, power, about cycles, metamorphosis, and alchemy, about regeneration. It's a release or a burst of energy, especially in the wand suit. And this, I do feel, is connecting directly to Pluto's movements. Pluto has been incredibly significant over the last month because he has finally moved into Aquarius for the final time, and he's not going to leave that sign for about 20 years. So this is a big collective shift. This is big transformational energy. And I do definitely feel like this eight is reflective of this fast or rapid transformation that we will now be undergoing on a personal level and a collective level. It's very apt as Sagittarius is a fire sign, and in tarot, the wands is the suit of fire. And we have a lot of fire energy this Sagittarius season. If you listen to my Sagittarius season video, I spoke about a grand fire trine that we have between the North Node in Aries, Mars in Leo, and this Sun in Sagittarius. And this is all about forward motion and creative potential. And the first thing that I normally think when I pull the Eight of Wands is this huge release the hounds kind of an energy. It's momentum and it's acceleration. This can be about things getting too hot or things moving too fast for us to handle. And it's important to keep in mind that even if things could feel a bit like go, go, go at the moment, we do have this ongoing Jupiter-Saturn activation in their square aspect by this Mercury who is going retrograde. And that is not forward motion at all. This is internal, introspective, reviewing energy. So there could be a sense of frustration at this time because it could feel like we've got progression right at the tips of our fingers, but we just can't quite get there yet. And especially too, because we have Mars in Leo, Mars, the planet of action and assertion, who will be turning retrograde at the beginning of December as well. So there's this juxtaposition of energies in terms of everything could feel like it's going faster, moving quicker. We need to go forward. We need to grow. We need to expand. We need to express. And yet, on the other hand, something's not quite ready yet, or things haven't quite fallen into place yet to enable us to do so, or for us to feel like we have the freedom to do that. And one of the things that the Eight of Wands can teach us is that too much momentum, too much assertion, or too much interference in the energies can actually cause more mess or more chaos or confusion. And that sometimes it can be the message of that the events are already in motion and the conclusion will come. Things are already progressing, and the best thing that we could do right now is to let things proceed and unfold as they will. And that's Saturn in Pisces talking at the moment, because Mercury will be squaring him and activating his square to Jupiter. So he's at the apex of a T-square configuration, which just means that this is the stop, pause, think about it, sit in stillness for a moment. Is this what you really want? Is this really the right time? Kind of an energy. And the Eight of Wands could just be a confirmation here that it's all right. Things are going to move forward. Things are in place. They could already be in motion already. And any hiccups, delays, confusions, any sense of, is this real? Is this not real? Is this going to happen? Is this not going to happen? It's like you might not even need to push or do anything more to make something happen. Things will resolve, and allow them to resolve. Don't push for them, because we are still in an overall forward motion, acceleration, Pluto moving into the sign of Aquarius, which is fast, rapid awakening, things moving quickly. And it's like there's no more preparation, there's no more planning. This is the time, this is the moment that things are actually already moving forward. And this Mercury in Sagittarius and this Mars in Leo in retrograde motion in Sagittarius season, it could be like, well, if things are already progressing forward, then how come I feel like I just can't move? It's because there's something we're going to need to be moving through internally first before the energies become aligned with our drive and desire with Mars and aligned with our consciousness, which is Mercury. So it's a message to just go with the momentum. It's to sit in that stillness and pause and review and reconsider when required. But any pushing or forcing at this time is likely to cause us to either get our fingers burnt or things to become messy. This can also speak of, when it's in reverse, the Eight of Wands can speak of blocks, delays, or holding yourself back. And if you're experiencing any of that tense energy of holding yourself back from progressing for whatever reason that might be, Saturn's really with me at the moment, and he's saying sit in the boat, go with the flow of your own intuition, go with the flow of what your own inner sun spirit will tell you is right. And if you're confused or if you're holding yourself back, the time will come. Saturn is Lord of Karma. He's about timing, and the time will come. If you have already escalated and accelerated and on a fast trajectory, this is a reminder that having too many things on your plate, juggling too many energies can cause blocks, can cause delays. And the Eight of Wands is saying this is an opportunity to just free what has been stagnant, to free what has been stuck. And that could mean a letting go of something to enable yourself the free energy to keep progressing towards something that you do actually want. And within these astrological energies that we're experiencing in this Sagittarius season, there is no opportune moment to act. And so the Eight of Wands is just signifying that it's trusting that you have the raw transformative power within you. And you can trust that things will come into place if you act when it feels right. The image on this Eight of Wands is the rainbow crow. So the Tarot of the Divine draws upon myths and fairy tales and legends. And this particular legend comes from Native North American culture. There are different versions with different animals from different cultures and peoples. But what the author has chosen for this card is the crow. And it's the story that once upon a time, the earth was warm and abundant. But as the weather started to cool, all of the animals became far too cold. And it was the crow who, in that time, had rainbow feathers, who volunteered to fly high into the sky and to bring back to earth the first fire, which in his journey he did. But it was a long journey. And though he arrived in time to save all of the animals from freezing to death and saving the earth from freezing over, on the journey, the fire that he carried singed all of his feathers so that his rainbow feathers became black, and the smoke and heat of the fire ruined his vocal cords. So before the journey, he had a beautiful singing voice, and afterwards his voice became harsh. So it is the story of the hero bringing fire to a cold land that exists in many, many cultures and legends from across the world. And the story is quite Plutonic in this version because it's about losing something, something dying. In the crow's case, it was his bright feathers, which could be attributed to his ego, and his voice, which can be attributed to personal truth, being transformed through an arduous journey through pain and through loss. But it was to enable true warmth and true life with this physical fire. And You could view it as an ignition of the heart. And this story is also very Sagittarian because Sagittarius is about the quest, the adventure for a higher meaning and higher purpose. So the Eight of Wands can signify a bit of a roller coaster, which certainly we are going through during this time. It can be about fun and enthusiasm, and it's an overall positive energy. And it's about not allowing yourself to become too hot too quick so that your fingers or feathers don't get burnt, and also about not holding yourself back through a lack of trust in your own intuition. Fire is about intuitive magic and tapping into your higher knowing, your creativity, your own magic. And the more you tap into that and practice self-belief and practice following your own intuition, following your own heart, that will allow you to move forward. And it's allowing that inner drive, that intuition, and that knowing to be the momentum that you need in whatever way, in whatever time that is right for you. The other message that I got as I was doing this reading was that just make sure you're not going in blind with whatever it is you're moving through, and that you truly understand what's going on. This is Mercury in Sagittarius. Sagittarius can gloss over the finer details because it's so much about the bigger picture and the higher meaning. And that's why sometimes things can get missed. And this retrograde period that I spoke about in my Sagittarius season video could be a pause or a holding back because the details still need to be consolidated. And it's about trusting in the process, even though it can be uncomfortable, even if there's friction, even if it's frustrating. Sagittarius is about trust, trusting in the truth, trusting the bigger picture, and trusting that whatever processes you're moving through, that you could either be feeling some blocks around or that you could be wanting to go for either one of these energies. I think the rainbow crow is reminding us that on a soul level, we elect to go on these quests. This is the journey to find our inner fire, to tap into and embody our inner fire, to find our higher, broader fire, vision, view, purpose. And that's what this whole process is going to be about during this Sagittarius season. This can be exciting. This can be fun. This can be enthusiasm. This could be unbridled adventure on any level, whether physical travel or any internal journeys or projects, creative projects that you could be working through. But again, this mutable energy does remind us to account for things to change, to account for delays, blocks, stoppages, big shifts, turnarounds, roundabouts, to stay flexible and to stay adaptable. And by moving through all of these things, it can feel like an obstacle course sometimes. We learn from it. That's another big Sagittarian theme, learning through experience. And it might suck or it might be super fun. It could be both. Either way, this transformative power of this Eight of Wands with this Pluto now in freedom-oriented Aquarius is all for our highest good. And thanks for listening.